There is a specific, haunting silence that fills a room at 3 a.m. when you are staring at the ceiling, paralyzed by a failure that hasn't even happened yet. You know the feeling. It is the sensation of your own mind turning against you, not with a roar, but with a whisper. You have the ambition. You consciously desire success, love, and freedom. You wake up every morning with the intent to change your life, but then, inevitably, something pulls the emergency brake. You procrastinate on the project that could make your career. You pick a fight with a partner who treats you well. You stay silent when you should have spoken. It feels like bad luck or a lack of discipline, but it is neither. It is the moment your subconscious mind stops being your servant and becomes your enemy. We believe we are the captains of our souls, steering our lives toward a golden horizon. But modern neuroscience reveals a humbling truth. The conscious mind, the part of you making plans right now, is only the captain of a small raft floating on a violent, bottomless ocean. That ocean is your subconscious. It dictates 95% of your life, controlling your emotional reactions and your deepest fears. And here is the problem. That ocean is not interested in your happiness. It is only interested in your survival. To your ancient biological operating system, survival simply means remaining exactly as you are. Consider the history of Hannibal Barca, the great Carthaginian general. In 216 BC, he did the impossible. He crossed the Alps and decimated the Roman legions at the Battle of Cannae. The road to Rome was wide open. The city was defenseless. He had the power to end the war and change human history. But he didn't. He hesitated. He turned his army away and spent years winning small skirmishes while slowly losing the war. Historians have debated his decision for centuries, but psychologically, the truth is clear. Hannibal knew how to be a warrior. He did not know how to be a victor. His identity was forged in struggle. If he took Rome, the struggle would end, and he would face the unknown of peace. Like Hannibal, you are likely stopping just short of your own victory. Your subconscious would rather you be a struggling warrior in a familiar war than a victor in an unfamiliar peace. This phenomenon is what psychologists call the upper limit problem. You have an internal thermostat for how much joy and success you are allowed to feel. When you exceed that limit, when the money starts flowing, or a relationship becomes truly intimate, your subconscious alarm bells ring. It interprets this new height not as success, but as vulnerability. It whispers, "This is dangerous. We are exposed." To protect you from the theoretical pain of losing it all, it manufactures a crisis. It makes you anxious. It makes you sick. It sabotages your joy to bring you back down to the safety of your baseline misery. You are fighting a war against a thermostat set to a temperature you didn't choose. This betrayal operates in the shadows, masquerading as your own voice. The subconscious enemy doesn't sound like a monster, it sounds like reason. When you are about to take a risk, it doesn't scream, "Stop." It whispers, "You're not ready yet. You need more research. What if they laugh at you?" It weaponizes your logic to build a cage of rationalizations. You convince yourself you are being prudent, when in reality, you are just obedient to a fear program running in the background. So how do we break this deadlock? Most people try to use willpower. They grit their teeth and try to force change. But willpower is a finite resource. You can white-knuckle your way through a project for a few weeks, but eventually the conscious mind tires. And the moment it blinks, the subconscious, which never sleeps, takes over again. Fighting the subconscious is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Eventually, your arms will shake and it will explode to the surface. The path to victory is not conquest, it is negotiation. You cannot scream at a computer to change its software. You have to learn the language of the code. The language of the subconscious is not logic, it is emotion, imagery, and repetition. To change the script, you must utilize the state of hypnagogia, that twilight zone between wakefulness and sleep. In those moments, just before you drift off, the barrier between the conscious and subconscious is thinnest. This is the window of opportunity. You must visualize not just the idea of success, but the visceral feeling of it. You have to trick the ancient machine. The subconscious cannot distinguish between a vivid, emotionally charged imagination and actual reality. If you can lie in bed and feel, with intense gratitude, the reality of that future success, your subconscious begins to accept it as safe. It starts to think, "Oh, we have been here before. This is normal." However, you must be prepared for the resistance, the extinction burst. This is the moment a behavior gets worse just before it disappears. When you finally start to rewrite the code, your subconscious will panic. It will scream, "The system is failing. We're leaving the known world." You might feel a sudden wave of anxiety or physical sickness. This is not a sign that you are doing it wrong. It is a sign that you are doing it right. It is the death rattle of the old identity. Most people mistake this resistance for intuition and stop. You must walk through the fire. Recognize that the terror you feel is simply the sensation of your comfort zone dying. There is a concept in depth psychology called the gold in the shadow. We spend so much time afraid of our darkness, our rage, our greed, our obsession, that we forget the shadow also contains our gold. It contains the energy that fuels us. When you repress your bad traits, you also repress the energy that drives them. By making peace with your subconscious, you don't just stop the sabotage, you unlock the vault. The aggression that made you self-destructive transmutes into the relentless drive to build an empire. The sensitivity that made you anxious becomes the profound intuition of a leader. You reclaim your totality. You stop being a polite, fragmented shell and become a dangerous, whole human being. And a dangerous, whole human being is the most powerful force in the universe. Look in the mirror one last time. Look past the skin, into the deep, dark pupils where the stranger lives. That stranger is not a monster. He is a terrified child holding a map that is out of date. He is a guardian trying to save you from a fire that went out 20 years ago. He is desperate for a leader. He is waiting for you to take the wheel, not with hatred, but with compassion. He is waiting for you to say, "I got this. We are safe. We are going somewhere new." The moment you do that, the war ends. The resistance gone, the energy flows, and finally you are not fighting against the current. You are the river. And the river knows exactly where it is going. The enemy has become the ally. The sabotage has become the strategy. And the life you were terrified to dream of becomes the life you simply wake up and live. If you are ready to stop fighting the current and finally become the river, you are already one of us. This is what we do at the Mind Supremacy Codex. We do not offer comfortable lies. We offer the tools to dismantle the programming that has held you captive. By subscribing, you are making a declaration to your own subconscious that you are ready to take command. Join us. Let's rewrite the code.